Hi everyone, my name is Marcus and I'm a fibre artist from Scotland, and today I'm going to show you the steps that I take to process an alpaca fleece so that it's ready for spinning. And this is the fleece I'll be working with today. So this is one of the fleeces from my alpaca geddon project, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Oh, super soft. White alpaca, but as you can see it's not quite white. Definitely needs some cleaning. So a lot of people don't wash alpaca before they spin it, and that's mostly because alpacas don't produce lanolin like sheep do, which is the greasy waxy substance that really binds to the dirt. And alpacas love to roll around and pick up as much dirt as they can in their fleeces. They like taking dust baths essentially. But these are alpacas that live in Scotland. So what they're rolling around in isn't dust and dirt, it's mud. So yeah, these definitely need washed. But without any more waffle, let's just get started. To start, I'm just going to pull some of the fleece out. And I can just lay it out and kind of see just how much dirt there is in here. A lot of vegetable matter, but the fleece itself is lovely. So I can use this step just now to pick out any of the larger pieces. Each step of fibre processing removes a little bit more dirt each time. But I don't want to spend too much time, going through and picking it, because I can, picking the little pieces out, because I can do that a lot easier as the steps progress. So I'm going to start off by, I'm going to kind of lightly pick some of this. Like so these little second cuts, the fibres here are too short to really make a good yarn. And they'll probably just get caught in the I think it's the smaller wheel on the drum carder. I can't remember what that's called. So I'm just going to discard something like this. So I'm going to pick this before I wash it. And the main reason is just now it's all, there's a bit of lock structure there. And so when I'm washing it, if that's still together, there can still be, dirt that gets caught up in that. So I'm just going to gently tease it apart. I'm not going to spend too much time on this at this stage because I'm going to be picking it again after it's washed, but I'm just opening it up a bit just to help the washing process. And whilst I'm doing this, a lot of the dirt is going to fall out onto the table below. And there's some more little second cuts. That's a good amount, and I'm going to pop that in one of these mesh laundry bags. These are brilliant for washing fleece because it keeps everything together but allows all of the the water to get in and about the fibres, but also allows the dirt to come out. So I don't want to overfill it because I want it I want the soapy water to be able to do its thing. So I'm going to prep a couple more of these and then we'll get washing. So I've got 4 bags all picked, ready to be washed. You can just see the amount of dirt that has already come out just in the picking process. When I first started processing these fleeces, I wasn't picking before washing. And I think that was definitely a mistake, because even just that first pick removes a surprising amount of dirt. And after washing, there was still a good amount of dirt that was left in the fleeces. And picking before washing it makes the washing a lot more effective. So I filled the sink up with some hot water with just a little bit of dish soap. And I'm just going to place my 4 bags in before I do that, I'm just going to kind of spread it out, make sure that they're taking up plenty of space in the bags. This is just so that the water can really kind of get in and around every fibre as much as it can. So I'm not wanting to agitate it too much, just because it will felt. In my experience, alpaca doesn't felt quite as, readily as sheep fleece does. But it definitely can felt, so I'm not wanting to agitate it too much, but I just want to make sure that, the hot soapy water can get in about the fibres to do what it needs to do. So I'm going to let that sit for about 10 minutes and then we'll come back. So it's been about 10 minutes and it looks as if the hot soapy water has done its job, and you can just see how dirty that water is. So I'm going to take these out now. I'm just squeezing it just to get the water out, but I'm trying not to wring it. Again, to avoid felting. And yeah, that water is pretty murky. So this is sat in warm water with no soap in it for just another 10 minutes. And you can see the water's still quite cloudy, but it's a lot lighter than what it was in the first wash. So I'm going to take this out again and I'm going to do another rinse just with warm water, no soap, and we'll see how we are. So it's been another 10 minutes and the water looks pretty clear this time. There's maybe still a little bit of colour in the water, but I'm happy with that. And I think I'm just going to hang this up to dry. So the fleece is hung up to dry, and once it's about 50% dry, I'll move it into this basket, which is mesh all the way around, even on the bottom. And I like to use this so that it can get ventilation from all sides, and it dries it a lot quicker. But it's just easier to, when it's still like dripping wet, I just hang it up on a clothes horse thing that I've got. Yeah, so once that's dried, I'm ready to start like properly picking the fleece and then carding. So taking some of the washed and dried, I'll then just start picking it apart like I did before washing, but I'll be a bit more thorough with it. I'm really trying to open that up, because if there's any kind of areas like this that are, a little bit knotted together, when it goes through the drum carder, that can bend the teeth, and it just makes the carding job just a bit more difficult. So don't spend too long on it, but the more time I spend here, the less time I'm spending when I'm carding. So it's kind of good to do it in something of a batch. And again, even though this has been picked and washed, there is going to be more dirt that falls out during this process. There. That's looking nice and opened up now. And you can absolutely spin from this point. And there's plenty of people that do, but I just like spinning carded fibre. It's like you can Like this is like obviously really easy to draft from, but I find carding the fleece first just helps me spin a more uniform yarn. I decided I would just do a voiceover for this section. The drum carder itself is quite loud when it's running, so yeah, I just thought this would be easier. So I'm just running the fibre through and I want to make sure that it's not too heavily packed. Otherwise, you can snap the fibres, you can bend the teeth of the drum carder. So it's good to keep it light and open so that you're not putting too much in. And as well, you can end up with a lot more waste going on to that, the smaller drum. I still can't remember what that's called. Regularly, I like to go in with, this is just a hand card, I like to go in and that just kind of helps pack the fibre down into the drum, but it also helps with the carding process and kind of keeping the fibres somewhat aligned. So now that I've loaded up as much fibre as I can on the drum carder, I'm just going in with a pencil. I typically use a screwdriver, but I lost a screwdriver that I like to use. So just using what I've got to split the bat open and then roll it off the drum carder. It is unfortunately, for the most part, off camera. I'm still learning how to film what I do whilst I'm doing it, so forgive me please. But once I've taken that off, I'm then splitting the bat into 4 different sections and I'm going to run it through again. The first pass through the drum carder does a really good job at kind of separating all the fibres and aligning them to an extent. But it's when you run it through a second time, it really, really smooths it out and it makes for a much more pleasant spinning experience. And again, I'm just spreading this out, opening it up so that I'm not overloading the drum carder. So that's the process that I'll be taking all of the fleeces from the alpaca geddon project through. And they're now ready to spin. I can add that bat to my collection of bats that I've been making. I think that'll be the 16th bat that I've pre-made for TourDeFleece. Weight-wise, I'm not 100% sure how much each bat weighs. I kind of just keep adding fibre to the drum carder until it can't really take any more. And typically that's between the like 50 gram and 75 gram rate. I can't quite squeeze 100 grams onto that drum carder. So if I've got 16 bats, that should be at least 800 grams, maybe closer to the 1000 gram, 1 kilogram mark, which I think is a good amount of fibre prepped, ready for TourDeFleece starting, which is exciting. That should keep me going for a little while anyway. But yeah, so I hope you found this video informative, maybe even entertaining, who knows. But yeah, stay tuned because I'll be recording some of the TourDeFleece progress of me spinning on my 2 different wheels. So if you enjoyed this and you want to see more of the alpaca geddon project, definitely subscribe and I'll try and keep you updated as much as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.